Good morning and welcome to 10 Minutes in the Text. I am Pastor Ted, the pastor of Narrative Church in Round Rock, Texas. This is a time for us to dive into Scripture together. Today, this week is Holy Week, but today is what we call Maundy Thursday, which is the day we celebrate the institution of the Lord's Supper. We're doing that tonight at 6:30. We do a time in meal together, and then we celebrate the Lord's Supper together. Tomorrow night, Good Friday service, 7 o'clock. Either of those services, if you're in the area, we'd love to have you join us. We'll have the live stream up for Good Friday. And then Easter Sunday, we're excited to have breakfast tacos at 9:30, service at 10. It's going to be a good time. This is a great week that we get to dive into the Word together. So we're actually going to look at the Easter story from John chapter 20, which is what we will be using this Sunday. So remember, this is after the crucifixion, 3 days later. And so here we go. Now, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early. So this is Sunday a.m., right? So Sunday morning, while it was still dark. So not only is it in the morning, it's early morning. And saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. Now this is something good for us to pay attention to, which you see that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. Now this stone is going to be large and heavy, right? So when she sees that, she's going to look and say, someone's moved this stone. This is a process. This isn't just like someone walked up and did this. This has, been intentionally done. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple. So she sees this, and what does she do? She runs to go get who? Simon Peter and the other disciple. Now this other disciple here, this is John, right? This is the author of this gospel. So she sees it and she runs to get her friends. Now, how do we know this is John? The one whom Jesus loved, right? Now this is always, an interesting thing in John that he's going to talk about that. And he said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Now this is interesting, all right? So who is this? This could be a couple different things. Is this the rulers, the religious rulers of the time? Is this the Romans? Have they taken him? So her first thought is someone has taken him out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him. So her thought process is that he's just been buried, right? Or taken. Her thought isn't that he's risen, it's he's gone. So what happens? So Peter went out with the other disciples, so this is Peter and John, and they were going toward the tomb. Now we get a classic moment of a bit of comedic relief here in the scripture. Both of them, so that's John and Peter, were running together. Now watch what happens here. But the other disciple outran Peter. What do you get to do when you write the gospel? You get to add in a little fun fact that, John's here, I won, right? John goes, I beat Peter in that foot race to the tomb. And reached the tomb first. And stooping to look in, he saw the linen cloths lying there, but he did not go in. Okay, now this is interesting, all right? So he looks in the tomb, he sees the linen that Jesus was wrapped in, but he doesn't go in. Then Simon Peter came following him. And what's Simon do? In classic Peter fashion, Peter went into the tomb. So John stops. But Peter, just bull in a china shop, he runs in. He saw the linen cloths lying there, and the face cloth, which had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen cloths, but folded up in a place by itself. Now, this is an interesting thought here, right? So, that it was folded up in a place by itself. Now, that seems like kind of a throwaway. Well, what's that about? Well, this shows care, right? If people were moving quickly to get Jesus out of the tomb, are they going to stop and fold things? This shows something's going on here. This is a little clue Then the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went in. Okay, so Peter goes in, and then John goes in. Do you ever have that moment where you let your other friend do something first, and then you go, okay, it's safe now, I can do it? And he saw and believed, for as yet they did not understand. For as yet they did what? Not understand the scripture, that he must rise from the dead. And so here we see they're processing all this, right? So they're processing what's going on. They're trying to figure it out. Then the disciples went back to their homes. So they go back. They see this. It's confusing, but they just go back to their homes. But who stays? Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. So Mary stays. And as she wept, she stooped and looked into the tomb, and she saw 2 angels in white sitting there where the body of Jesus had lain. So here we get Mary sees angels, whereas the other guys went in, they didn't see that. One at the head and one at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" Could you imagine that in your sorrow, and to have an angel ask, "Why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." Man, talk about grief, right? Her grief, she still thinks he's dead, he's just somewhere else. And in her grief, she just, where is the body? Having said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing, but she did not know that it was Jesus. So she's so caught up in this that she doesn't realize it's him. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?" Supposing him to be the gardener. I love this, right? She said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Now this again, look at how deep her grief is here, all right? I want to look at this. She is grieving so deeply that she doesn't recognize Jesus. This is a man she's walked with and followed for the past 3 years. And she is so in shock. But notice, Jesus said to her, "Mary." He calls her name. She turned and said to him in Aramaic, "Rabboni," teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not cling to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." So here the proclamation Jesus makes is, I'm back, but I'm still going. Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord," and that he had said these things to her. So great Easter text, great story, great time to jump in and see the immediacy and the depth of resurrection. So I'm looking forward to diving into this for the sermon on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you guys this week. Have a great week. Hoping to see you tonight if you can make it, or Easter or Good Friday, wherever you can be there. And just looking forward to diving into the scripture with you. Have a great day.